had another dream the other night, and I wanted to talk about this dream. In the dream, I saw what looked like the outside of my house, and one of my friends had rocked up, and she had her family in tow, like her husband and her whole family, like her kids. And it was like I was going to show her the inside of my newly renovated house. And I walked into the house, and it was a completely different house. So on the outside, it looked like my house, but my current house. But on the inside, it looked like a billionaire's mansion, basically. So the house was, just to give you an idea, there was one room, like one whole massive room for a gym. Then another room, the living room and kitchen were open plan, and like a very big open plan space. And in that space alone had like 3 TVs. And then the third room that I saw was it looked like a linen / clothing cupboard, but it was like the whole room was a cupboard, like just one, like you could, like a walk-in wardrobe or walk-in linen cupboard. And I don't normally wear perfume because it's filled with like chemicals, most perfumes, but this particular room had like 2 whole shelves going across the whole room, like one wall, 2 whole rows, and like deep as well, perfumes, like 2 whole shelves of perfumes, just like you'd see at the shops, like with multiple rows. And then below that were like 2 rows of Tommy Hilfiger shirts, like they look like polo shirts and it looked like the display was so immaculate and perfect, like at the shop where they make it look perfectly nice, and the shirts were perfectly ironed, and everything was like, they looked like they were in a shop, basically. Like they were so like neatly folded and everything. It just looked like it was on a display shelf. And 2 whole rows of like polo shirts, the types that my husband likes to wear. And that's the level of luxury. And then I saw another linen cupboard the cupboard was just decked out in marble. Just like a freaking linen cupboard. Like it was just for linen, but it was like all decked out in marble. And that's the level of luxury that I saw. And one of my Christian friends was in the house, and she was doing Pilates. And it was like I was doing Pilates with her until the other friend just randomly walked up with her family and wanted to see the renovation. I wanted to see the house. And in every room, there were people that I knew, like friends, family, just people like friends. And it was like they were just hanging out every day in this house with me and my family. And just chilling out, just like hanging out all the time. And it's funny because I don't usually like to hang out with a lot of people, but it seemed like in this house, all my friends were over all the time. And the other thing, so I went into the gym room and I saw these 2 guys that I didn't know, because all the other rooms were like, had people in them. And so I went to this gym room, and there were these 2 guys I didn't recognize. And I said to them, "Who are you?" And they looked a bit like they got caught. It was like there were so many people in the house that they thought they wouldn't get caught. So they actually said to me that they were spying on the house and that they were in the house because previous owners of the house were trafficking children. And they came back to spy on the house to make sure that those activities weren't taking place with the new owners of the house. And I was the new owner of the house. So they obviously trusted me because they told me, and they'd already gathered enough information to, I guess, know that I wasn't that kind of person. And so they told me why they were there. And that was the end of my dream. And so I think that for me, that dream meant that I believe that God was showing me possibly the house I'm going to get after the rapture, not in heaven, but like when I come back after the rapture. That's what I took away from the dream. Now, I also had another dream about my house previously, and what was strange was that I saw in my previous dream about the house, I was so curious about the house, and I was actually wondering like more about the house, because in the first dream I didn't see much of the house. I just saw that the job I was doing after I came back from the rapture. And so after my first dream about the house, in the first dream I only saw the bedroom, and the bedroom just looked like one of those Hilton hotel type beds. With me and my husband had come back from work and like a job that we were assigned to do, and the bedroom was like decked out with really, really beautiful beautiful linen, like beautiful bed sheets, beautiful, like everything. The room looked immaculate, and it looked perfectly made, like a maid, or we had house help or something. Like everything was just like perfect. The pillows were perfect. It was like you literally on holiday where you come back to your room and like the bed's made and looks like beautiful. It was just it just felt like the room like looked like we were on holiday, but it was our house. And that was my first dream. So I was actually been wondering for a few months what the whole house looked like, and then I got that dream this week, so I thought I'd share it. And I feel this is a message for the 144,000 and a glimpse into what we'll be getting, basically, and the blessings we'll be getting once we come back. Yeah.